Well, for more insight on the fight against Daesh in Iraq, we can speak to Shelly Kittleson. She's reported extensively from the country, excuse me, in areas formerly held by Daesh, and joins us now from Rome. Shelly, good to speak to you this afternoon here on TRT World. Let's deal first of all with that mass grave that's been found outside Fallujah. I was shocked with the large number. This isn't the first or won't be the last mass grave, I'm sure, have been discovered. But what does it tell us about what's been happening in Fallujah in recent months?
Well, clearly, Fallujah was taken before Mosul in January of 2014, and it has long been a stronghold of insurgent groups, even beforehand. I mean, we know that during the US occupation and the after Saddam Hussein fell in 2004, we had the first and second battles of Fallujah, which were some of the most violent fighting that we did see in the post-Saddam period. And so, yeah, no, clearly it's long been a stronghold of insurgent activity, and quite a few people, the locals perhaps, who, how should I put this, feel that they have not been given the correct weight, or they have not been allowed to participate in government since the last few governments have been in place in Iraq, which have been Shia-led, have tended to accept ISIS in their areas sometimes because they feel that it's basically the same. Clearly, since it has been besieged entirely, we've seen people trying to get out recently, very desperate to get out. Some of them have not eaten in months a good meal, according to the Norwegian Refugee Council. So we do see that these people want to get out. They do not, many of them never wanted to be under ISIS to begin with. However, that has long been a hotbed of insurgent activity, so they perhaps saw no choice on the one hand. And on the other, since in previous battles, I mean, we've seen that when the Popular Mobilization Forces, the Shia-led militias, which were created after Sistani's call to basically a sort of jihad after the fall of Mosul in 2014, these militias, which are Shia militias, for the most part, that existed before and that were in some part funded by Iran, or at least supported politically in some way by Iran, have grown in size, and they have been key to some of the major gains, let's say, by the Iraqi central government. Now, in this particular fight, they've been kept on the edges, mostly due to foreign concerns, US concerns, that after, for example, in Tikrit, they were accused of sectarian bloodletting disappearances and things like that after the city was taken. So they have been basically kept off the front lines in this particular battle for Fallujah, but there are concerns what will come afterwards. I was recently in the Kurdistan regional government area, or actually in the disputed areas between, what were the disputed areas between the Kurdistan regional government and the Iraqi central government, in the northern Salahuddin and in the Kirkuk provinces. And what I did see there was that a lot of the land which was retaken from ISIS almost immediately, so it wasn't, you know, a stronghold of ISIS activity. There was some of the locals supported them, but it definitely was not anywhere close to being Fallujah. I mean, even in the area around Tuzkurmatu, we see about 50 Arab villages which have not been, the villagers have not been allowed back in. Now, they blame Hashd al-Shaabi, the Popular Mobilization units, the Shia-led units, which are also now surrounding Fallujah, for not letting them back in. So that creates concerns. What will happen after Fallujah falls?
Okay. Well, Shelly, unfortunately, we do have to stop it there. I do apologise for interrupting you, but we do have to move on. Thanks very much for joining us on TRT World. Thank you.